Every cut of the saw severs a tie. The silence of the forest is the answer. Calloused hands, a healing soul. Chiseling away the old self to find the core. Every nail is an affirmation. The planks come together to form a story. The floor takes shape. This is the stage for a new chapter. A chapter of patience. The foundation is complete. Digging the earth, clearing away the old. Making way for purity to flow. He creates joy from the simple things. This bench is a companion. The first fire, the heart of the home. This insulation is a boundary between peace and the world left behind. He learns the language of wood. Listening to the grain for guidance. Every cut is a conversation. A dance of creation. The frame appears through sweat and precision. Every joint fits perfectly. Separate pieces, now connected. Nature silently bears witness. A small wooden peg holds it all together. He doesn't fight it. He becomes part of it. Measuring to honor the wood's beauty. Sometimes you need a lever. Strength comes not just from muscle, but from ingenuity. Wisdom is the strongest lever. And an understanding of natural laws. The house is finding its voice. The walls rise, defining the space. A safe place for the mind to wander. He works for the joy of creation. When the hands are busy, the mind is calm. He finds his own rhythm. A symphony of wood and metal. Nature reminds him of beauty. And the resilience of life. The roof is not just for shelter. It is his own sky. He adds its protective layer. A promise to cherish this piece. The old fence speaks of impermanence and the need to build things that last. Repetition becomes a form of meditation. The first shell is complete. The house now breathes with the forest. The waterproof layer is a second skin, protecting from the wrath of the heavens, so the warmth within can remain. The final tile, like a crown, every nail is a musical note. The symphony of completion. Satisfaction comes from the result of labor. Seeing an idea become real. But the work is not over. A house cannot stand alone. The porch is built like an open embrace. Welcoming the sun, the wind, and nature. A transitional space between inside and out, between shelter and the wild world. The protective coat is applied. Symmetry creates harmony. Beneath the porch, another hearth is built. A path made from slices of the forest. So every step is a connection. Now, time to tend to the doors. They are not windows. They are living paintings, framing the endless beauty of nature. The stairs are not just for climbing. They lead to the realm of dreams. The structure takes form. An oasis of peace in the green forest. A testament to self-reliance. Now, to bring soul to the space. So every corner tells a story. The loft, a place of potential, where the light dances. The windows are the eyes of the house. To protect the peace he has found. The old, rotting fence, a reminder of impermanence, and of building things to last. The roofing continues. Repetition as a form of meditation. The shell is complete. The house now breathes with the forest. The waterproof layer, a second skin, protecting from the sky's fury, so the warmth remains intact. The final tile is laid. Like a crown, every nail is a note. The symphony of completion. satisfaction from the result. Seeing an idea become real. But the work isn't over. A house cannot be alone. It needs to connect to the earth. The porch, an open embrace, welcoming the sun, wind, and nature. A transitional space between shelter and the wild. The protective coat is applied. Symmetry creates harmony. Another hearth is built. A path from slices of the forest. So every step is a connection. Time to tend to the doors. They are living paintings, framing nature's beauty. The stairs are not just for climbing. They lead to the realm of dreams. The structure takes form. An oasis of peace. A testament to self-reliance. Now to bring soul to the space. So every corner has a story. The loft, a place of potential, where the light dances. The window is the house's eye, to see the world. And to have privacy. The ceiling, a small sky, sheltering peaceful sleep. Every detail is tended to. This is not mass-produced. It is a work of art, the mark of a human being. The loft floor is finished, sturdy and warm. Ready for footsteps. The final steps. An invitation to enter. A season is ending. Leaves turn, welcoming change. Inside, life begins. A cup of tea, a moment of silence. The reward for hard days. A protective coat for the wood, to make it last through time. The insulation, like an embrace, keeping the warmth in when winter comes. The first light is turned on. Not the light of the city, but the light of a hearth. The final walls are finished. The space is whole. And then the snow begins to fall. A white blanket on the forest. The house is no longer a project. It is now part of the landscape. Inside, the final details. A sliding door, smart and stylish. Painted with love. Every object has a story. Outside, the snow is thicker. He continues to create small comforts. The rope, a rustic touch. A reminder of connection to nature. The folding table, maximizing function. In a small space. The heart of the house is built. The fireplace where the fire will dance. Warmth born from contentment. The fire is lit, marking the true beginning of life here. A small space, but it holds a universe. The warm light tells the story of the walls. The fireplace is the beating heart. Every object is a piece of memory. In the silence, he is no longer alone. A cup of tea, a friend. The noisy world has vanished. The sky is gray, but his heart is clear. The final stones for the hearth. Carefully arranged for strength. The house to relearn the language of effort. The first foundation isn't just dug into the ground. It is dug deep into a calloused soul. Each swing of the axe doesn't just cut into a tree. It severs the invisible threads that tie me to the past. I used to think strength was something complicated. But no, it is simply lifting a log heavier than yourself and putting it in its proper place. This forest has its own laws. It takes your sweat, and in return it gives you purpose. A purpose as clear as the grain in the wood. Sometimes I wonder if I'm running away. Or if I'm simply returning. Returning to a place where a man's worth is measured by what he can create, not by what he owns. In this quiet, memories still find their way back. The laughter of a companion, The weight of projects left unfinished, together. We once believed we could build an entire world. But that world collapsed. And only one builder was left among the ashes. Now, every log I lay is an attempt to rebuild not just a roof, but a belief. The belief that from the ruins, something strong can be built. Even if you are alone. The darkness of the forest isn't frightening. It's just a veil hiding what is not yet complete. This headlamp doesn't just illuminate the work. It is a small spark of hope, affirming that I am still here. That I am still fighting. And then winter arrives, without warning. Like nature's final test. The cold seeps into every crack, every layer of clothing. It wants to see if my resolve is harder than the frost. Every breath is a white cloud vanishing into the air. Every log becomes heavier, colder. This is no longer about building. This is about survival. The battle is no longer with memory, but with every passing second of the present. The snow falls, erasing all boundaries. Erasing the very path I took to get here. Leaving only one choice: to move forward. To finish what I started. Because this shelter is no longer just a desire. It is a necessity. The only wall standing between me and ruin. In the biting cold, a simple thought becomes clear. To survive the winter outside, you must light a fire within. And that fire needs a heart, a hearth. The work now becomes more delicate. No longer massive logs, but small bricks. Every brick is a promise of warmth. Every layer of mortar is a layer of protection. My hands are numb, but I don't feel the cold. Because I am building the heart of my home. This dark and cold hollow is about to become a place where life can begin. I'm not just laying bricks, I am cultivating hope. And then the moment arrives. The first fire. It doesn't just warm the space, it warms the soul. In the dancing flames, I see my own reflection. A survivor, a creator. Outside, the snow can fall, the storms can rage. But here, in the core of this shelter, there is peace. a peace that I have earned with my own 2 hands. Now only one final task remains. The door. It is more than just a plank of wood. It is the boundary between my world and everything else. It is the right to choose. To choose quiet over noise. To choose warmth over cold. Every hinge, every cut of the saw must be precise. Because this is the gatekeeper to my sanctuary. Working in the night by the light of a headlamp, I feel like a monk, performing an ancient and sacred ritual. The ritual of creating an absolutely safe space. Tale is a dialogue with the house. It tells me where it is weak, where it needs more protection. And I listen. I answer with my hands. This is a symbiotic relationship. I give it existence. It gives me peace. This door now is not just an object. It is a symbol of control reclaimed. The sound of the latch sliding home in the quiet night. It is the sound of safety. The sound of an old chapter, fully closed. And inside, a new chapter begins to be written. In firelight and in silence. But peace must also be tended to like a fire. A temporary hearth is enough to get through a storm. But a new life needs a stronger foundation, more permanent. And sometimes a great work cannot be built by one person. Shared silence is no longer loneliness. It becomes understanding. He arrived, not with questions, but with willing hands. He understood that some wounds can only be healed by building together. We didn't speak much. Our language was mortar and brick. The shared rhythm of men building a heart of stone. The heart of the home. Each brick laid down, precise and careful. As if we were writing a testament to the future. A vow that this place will stand. That the warmth will never die. And when the new fire is lit, it's not just a fire, it's a confirmation that the mending has begun. That a soul is ready to let another person in. The work continues into the night. Because the darkness is always a shelter's greatest test. We reinforce the walls, sealing every last crack. Not from fear of the darkness outside, but to protect the light within. Every small detail matters. This simple wooden latch is the most loyal guard. The sound of it closing is a symphony of security. And inside these walls, another transformation is taking place. From a shelter, it is becoming a home. The cold earth floor must give way to the warmth of wood. This is an act of care, a reverence for this space. It's no longer just for shelter from the elements. It is a place to live, to breathe, to exist completely. The rough walls are cleaned, as if washing away the last remnants of an old sorrow. Every piece of wood is tended to. The house is being loved, and it responds with a silence that grows ever deeper. And then, for the first time, there is room for rest. The hammock is hung like a word of acceptance, accepting that the hardest work is over, that the builder can finally allow himself a moment's peace. This moment of lying down is more precious than anything. It is the reward. It is tangible peace. A peace supported by the very structure you have created. The house is complete. But an empty house is still just a shell. It needs to be filled with life. By the cheerful sound of fire in the hearth. By the presence of friendship. The house is now ready to welcome. The door is no longer just for closing. It is ready to be opened. Winter still blankets the outside. But inside, another season has begun. A season of sharing. The coats are hung up side by side. A silent testament to a shared journey. The air is clean and warm. The house is breathing. Firewood still needs to be prepared. The work is always there. But now it's no longer a lonely battle. The sound of the chainsaw, not as an intrusion, but as a promise of warm winter nights ahead. And in this sanctuary, something unexpected sprouts. A bit of color, a bit of sparkling light. The signs of a celebration, long thought forgotten. Christmas has found its way into the wilderness. Or perhaps it never left. It was just waiting for a place warm enough to be lit up. The simple red hat becomes a crown, honoring the builders who created a miracle. Not the miracle of gifts, but the miracle of rediscovering joy. Rediscovering the ability to celebrate even with very little. The house is adorned. Every light is a small star, illuminating the long road that has been traveled. The road from ruin to rebirth, from solitude to sharing. And now everything is in its place. They say you can't run from your past. But what if you could build a new future with your own two hands? In a remote corner of the mountains, one man is trying to do just that. Every piece of timber is a vow. Every nail, a promise to bury the man he used to be. He isn't just building a house. He's crafting a fortress for the soul. In the silence of the forest, he rediscovers the primal rhythm of life. A rhythm the noisy city stole from him long ago. Here, there are no endless meetings. Only the silent dialogue between him and the woods. It gives him timber, it gives him strength. And in return, he repays it with sweat and reverence. These walls are rising. Like a shelter separating him from the world he once knew. Perhaps freedom isn't about having everything. It's the courage to let go of what no longer belongs to you. This hard labor is a medicine. It heals the invisible wounds that no one else can see. When the hands are tired, the mind finds peace. Autumn arrives like a silent companion. The forest changes its coat, and within him something is changing too. He is no longer a man on the run. He is the one who stays, cultivating his own piece of the earth. Every layer of moss, every handful of leaves, is part of a pact between him and nature. This house will breathe with the rhythm of the forest and shelter him through the long winters to come. The weight on his shoulders now is no longer the burden of the past. It is the tangible weight of a future taking shape. The window is not just for letting in light. It is a frame for the world he has chosen. A quiet world where value is measured in persistence. Winter begins to test his resolve. The cold seeps in, but the fire within him still burns. The work does not stop. Because hope is something that must never be allowed to freeze. This roof is not just to cover his head. It is an aspiration, reaching for a sky of his own. He learned that the strongest things always demand precision and attention to the smallest details. Just as life teaches us about maturity. Every hammer strike, every saw cut has a purpose. There are no wasted movements. In this stillness, he finds absolute focus. Darkness falls, but the work continues. Because he knows the dawn will come. And this house must be ready to greet the first rays of sun. He is building more than a place to live. He is creating a legacy. A testament to how a man can change his own destiny. With his own hands and an unbreakable will. The roof frame is complete. Like the skeleton of a new man, ready to be filled with flesh and a heart. The clear blue sky of spring is a promise of rebirth, of new beginnings. The outer shell is not just to withstand the weather. It is the new skin of the house and of the man himself. Strength comes from not skipping the necessary layers, just as a steady soul must be fortified from within. The windows are installed, like the eyes of the house. From here, he can gaze upon the world he has created. And for the first time, that world does not frighten him. He begins to build a space for enjoyment. Because life is not only about labor, it is also about rest. This fire is not just for warmth. It is the heart of the home where he returns after a. It is the path that leads to his dreams, where he can look down upon his creation and see that anything is possible. The insulation, like a warm embrace. It keeps the warmth in and the harshness of the outside world out. This house now has a soul. Completion is not found in the grand gestures. It is found in the small details attended to with a full heart. The walls are paneled as if wearing a new coat. Each wood grain tells a unique story. And when pieced together, they create a symphony of nature. This cabinet is not just for storage. It will hold the memories that are yet to be made here. And the fire roars again as a declaration that life, warmth, and hope have truly returned. Outside, the snow is falling. But inside this house, a warm spring resides. The ceiling is his own personal sky. A steady sky that will never know a storm. He is placing the final pieces of his world. Each board is laid with care. Because the foundation of peace must be built on patience. Though it is frozen outside, the work of preparing for the future must go on. Because he knows winter will pass. The attic, a place for contemplation, is also being dressed in a warm coat. He once sat alone amidst the clutter of life. Now he sits amidst the fruits of his own labor. And pride is a feeling that cannot be described in words. Every panel on the wall tells a story of resilience, of turning an empty space into a sanctuary. He can invite the light into his home, because there is no longer darkness within him. A moment of relaxation, a moment of reward. A hot cup of coffee and a door that opens to the forest. That is all the wealth he needs. The floor is the foundation he walks on every day. A solid foundation, earned through 1,000 hours of labor. Every step on this floor is a reminder. Of how far he has come from where he started. Sometimes to build something new, you need the help of a future generation. To pass on not just skills, but a legacy of values. Connection is not forged from words. It is forged from building together. The light switch to illuminate the darkness when night falls. Just as knowledge illuminates the darkness of ignorance, the window frame is reinforced, so the view is never shaken by the storm. The doorknob is the first handshake with the house. It must be firm and reliable. The work continues without a moment's rest. Because perfection is a journey, not a destination. And so, the outer siding is completed. The house now does more than just blend into the forest. It becomes a part of the landscape, a proud landmark. The final task is to polish. Not to hide imperfections, but to enhance the natural beauty of the wood. And the fireplace tools like the final pieces of jewelry, confirming that this place is ready for a new life. And then the porch is laid. The place where he will sit and watch the world. Inside, the kitchen is not just a place to cook. It is a place that nourishes the body and the soul. The house is complete. It stands there, strong and silent in the heart of nature, a testament to the power of the human will. The first belongings are brought in. Not lavish furniture, but the warmth of life itself. The kitchen, the second heart of the house, is completed, where simple meals will bring great joy. The lights are turned on, chasing away the shadows. And the protective stain like a final embrace. To keep this house beautiful for all time. The house now has a breath of its own. It whispers with the wind and bathes in the sun. Every corner tells a story of rebirth. And that man, he has finally found his way home. Not a place on a map, but a place within his own soul. He lights the fire not to chase away the cold, but to welcome an old friend. He sits there silently in the kingdom he built himself. This journey didn't teach him how to build a house. It taught him how to rebuild a life. From the roughest pieces of wood, he found the strongest version of himself. He doesn't need to search for greatness elsewhere. It is here in the rustle of the leaves, in the warmth of the hearth, and in the beat of a heart that has found its tranquility. They say you can't run from your past. That's true. You can only build a present more worthy of living in. The house now has a breath of its own. It whispers with the wind and bathes in the sun. Every corner tells the story of rebirth. And that man, he has finally found his way home. Not a place on a map, but a place within his own soul. He lights the fire, not to chase away the cold, but to welcome an old friend, peace. He sits there silently in the kingdom he built himself. This journey didn't teach him how to build a house. It taught him how to rebuild a life. From the roughest pieces of wood, he found the strongest version of himself. He doesn't need to search for greatness elsewhere. It is here in the rustle of the leaves, in the warmth of the hearth, and in the beat of a heart that has found its tranquility.